So I'm good. I'm hop straight into it. I really just want to test. So I'm good. I'm kind of good. It's really just a test. See if it's cool. This is my third backup page. I can't even my backup page that my second backup page. I can't even use that either, man, because I got that hooked up. It's the same Gmail account, you know, as my main page. My main page got two strikes. So since it's the same Gmail account, then I can't do nothing with my backup page. You know. So if they do delete my main page, then my backup page gonna get deleted with it. But it's whatever, bro. That shit's stupid. Anyway, I just want to go into a quick little lesson. As y'all see from the title, it says Yahawashi the angels, the real pull-up boys, and HOI, which I'm not calling Yahawashi the angels boys, per se, but just using that phrase. You have HOI. Came across one of their videos earlier, and they call themselves the pull-up boys. In other words, let me see if I can share my screen and go to it. But I just want to hop into a quick lesson. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahawashi, by Hashem Chakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there pushing His word with all truth and sincerity, and to all you believers out there who believe in the gospel. And it's Brother Kwara Abad from GMS Houston camp. So to get this, they call themselves the pull-up boys. HOI, I assume is because wherever we got a scene at, or a lot of people, they pull up on the scene and bring out the word. Like they was at the Washington, D.C. with the Covington High School incident. So I guess they just pull up everywhere, anywhere, everywhere. But let me get a definition on what it means. You got to go to the Urban Dictionary to get one. And then we'll hop into the lesson, going into how Yahawashi the angels, how they the true pull-up boys or true pull-up men. You see, in other words, once we get this definition, it's a phrase Jake said in the street, right? So this is on Urban Dictionary for that word pull up. For that word pull up, it says a common phrase people say when they're about to fight someone. Example, it says this B trying to fight, pull up then. When you got beef with somebody or something, you got beef with somebody, you tell them pull up. You send them the address. Here you go, pull up. It says a threat synonymous to drop your location or you want to fight. And that's also what Yahawashi the angel doing. They threatening Esau right now. Yahawashi doing it by way of his word being preached and his vibration being pushed back in the world. And we telling the so-called white man and these other heathens, even 2/3 of our own people, that Yahawashi coming back to kill them if they don't get right with the Lord. That's threats. Yahawashi sending threats by his hitmen, spiritually speaking in all this though, because we not carnal men. Spiritually speaking though, and who's the spiritual hitmen? The prophets. We out there prophesying, telling these people what Yahawashi gonna do when he show up, or in other words, when he pull up. When he pull up, and how the angels threatening Esau, right? And the so-called UFOs, they're appearing more often. You see what they said about how the angels, how they got control over their nuclear ability. America said that. And you see how these angels in the chariots, which the world knows as UFOs, how they just showing up, in a threatening like manner to the so-called white man and to these other nations' military. You see? But why it says a threat synonymous to drop your location. And that's pretty much it. I'll get into the scriptures. Let me finish my screen, remove. I'll get into the scriptures. And I'm gonna start with Jude, the book of Jude, because it describes how Yahawashi gonna come, niggas today, Jake today pull up with a whole crew, deep. They say 10 cars deep, 50 cars deep, You know, niggas in this world pull up, they be deep. Well, look, Yahawashi gonna pull up deep. He gonna have all this, you know, his boys with him. Let me get this real quick. This is Jude 1:14. It says Enoch also, right? Which one of our forefathers, also he was a prophet. It says, and Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these, saying, behold, the Lord Yahawashi. So he prophesied about the coming of Yahawashi. It says, behold, the Lord Yahawashi cometh with 10,000s of his saints. The Lord gonna pull up with 10,000s of his saints. The scripture says even thousands and thousands of saints, man. You know, as in the Old Testament, how I mentioned how the Lord, when he came, you know, to Mount Sinai, how it was thousands of angels with him, man. The same thing will be in this time. How much more at his second coming? Shit, the scripture literally mentioned Michael himself gonna have to stand up. And Michael is he who is like the Most High, the Archangel Michael. So what you think they're coming back to do? Right? They ain't saying drop your location just cause. They ain't, you know, sending out these threats. The Most High ain't sending out these death threats. It ain't just threats. It's death threats the Lord sending towards these nations and towards Esau either, man. You see? So I'm gonna read it again. It says Jude 1:14, and Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these, saying, behold, the Lord come with 10,000s of his saints to execute judgment upon all and to convince all that are ungodly among them. So the Lord, look, he telling you, look, I ain't just coming back deep. He ain't just coming back just Yahawashi and angels and they just coming back just cause. No, it says that this the reason. It says to execute judgment upon all and to convince all that are ungodly among them. First and foremost, start with people who fell out the truth. Right? The Lord said he coming back, he gonna start at his house with judgment. Right? And it says, of all their ungodly deeds which they have ungodly committed, and of all their heard speeches which ungodly sinners have spoken against them. So I just wanted to show get that to show that Yahawashi, he gonna pull up with thousands of angels, and they ain't just coming. No, the Lord told America, drop your location. You see, but he gonna pull up to what? To execute judgment upon all and to convince all that are ungodly among them, man. You know, let's get Revelation 19 because it kind of mentions the same thing, right? I'm gonna start at verse 11. It says, Revelation 19:11. It says, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doeth judge and make war. That don't sound too nice. When you making war with somebody, you ain't playing pity pat. Tetherball. Remember, we used to have a tetherball pulled at our school. We ain't playing tetherball, man. You know, the Lord ain't coming kicking with you. He coming back for a specific reason to set up judgment, right? His kingdom, and also to make war. Because if he gonna set up his kingdom on earth, then guess what? He got to take down all the authority that's currently got power right now in the earth. That's war. The Lord coming back, taking names, kicking ass, like they say, man. You know, he even said the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of his redeemer is come. The Lord still thinking about all this. You know how people say holding grudges ain't good, or you shouldn't hold a grudge. Well, look, Yahawashi holding a grudge. If the Lord wasn't holding a grudge, why in Revelation 1, it mentioned that when he comes, let's get it real quick. Why I mentioned this, Revelation 1:7, behold, he cometh with clouds, right? The chariots, and every eye shall see him. And that's another thing. When the Lord, look, you know how people send hitmen, you know, to do the dirty work, you know, a shot of what they like to say. Well, look, Yahawashi, he come and do it himself. He come and do it himself. He don't gotta send hitmen. He come and do it himself. And the hitman will be with him, though. You know, Jake, you know, you got Jake. Nowadays, I'm just saying Jake, but anybody, they go rob somebody or pull up whatever. They got the ski mask on, covering their face so the camera don't see them. What the Lord, it says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. He not hiding. He wants you to know it's him. He wants you to know it's his time to take over, man. He not hiding. He ain't running, right? It says, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced them. That's a grudge. Look, why is it mentioning those who pierced them? Shouldn't the Lord have forgiven them? 2,000 some years ago, shouldn't the Lord have forgiven them? Right? But why is it mentioning them two at his coming? Because it's still on his mind, man. He want to see them too. And it says, which pierced them, and all kindreds of the earth shall well because of him, even so to I. Right? But back in Revelation 19 and 11, it says, and I saw heaven open, and it's talking about the coming of Yahawashi. When he, like people say, when he cracked those clouds, well, yeah. Scripture said heaven open. Like on, what's that movie? I believe it's Independence, not Independence Day, one of them. Independence Day, I believe. One of them. Independence, now it's not War of the Worlds. I believe it's Independence Day. But anyway, how you seen that big chariot came, it just came out, the clouds opened up. You know, the clouds opened up. Salaki, hold on. Salakia, man. It says, Revelation 19:11, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called faithful and true. Now that he is Yahawashi, and white horse ain't talking about a literal white horse. You know, horse meaning or symbolic for power, and white is pure, man. You know, even with cars nowadays, they tell you if it got a nice engine, it got what? Horsepower. You know, but Yahawashi coming back in pure power, righteousness, and perfection with all the power. He even said in Isaiah 47, I will not meet thee as a man. He coming back in his angelic form, man. Pure power. So it says, and he that sat upon him was called faithful and true. And that white horse is talking about the chariot. If I didn't mention that white horse is talking about the chariot, the so-called UFOs with these people know today, man. And it says, and he was called faithful and true, and in righteousness he doeth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. Why is it saying the Lord had a head of many crowns? Because that's telling you when he come back, all these other so-called kings or people who got authority or say-so in this world, Yahawashi gonna strip them of their rank, of their position, right? And he gonna be the only one that's gonna be the ultimate power in that day, the one who got to say so. That's why the scriptures, as we read, is gonna say he is the King of kings, the Lord of lords. So you can have kings, but those kings got a king. you can have lords on the earth, like Lord Jacob Rothschild. But look, them lords got a Lord. That's Yahawashi, man. Now they ain't actually talking about the Lord go come back, and you know, heads with crowns. He trying to hold them up, you know, just hold them up. I just say no. The Lord coming back. In other words, you know, when King David, I forget which king it was, but they besieged the city and took the city, and King David took the king crown and put it on his head. In other words, you got a new sheriff in town. Let me see if I can find that. Let me see if I can find that real quick. I know it's in 2 Samuel. Let me see if I can find it real quick. If not, it's all good. I could look it up too, so I want to try to get it through the scriptures. If not, I'm gonna look it up. All right, I'm gonna look it up. Let me see. Okay, it's like it. Okay, it was 2 Samuel 12 and 30. All right. Yep. 2 Samuel 12 and 30. I start at 29. Just for a quick example, a man putting a crown on his head. It says 2 Samuel 12 and 29, and David gathered all the people together, right, and went to Rabbah and fought against it and took it. So King David going to a city, he fought with them, just like Yahawashi coming back to do to this great city and all these other, militaries of the earth, that great city being America, right? It says he fought against it and took it. Yahawashi gonna fight against. Well, let me get a precept to prove it. Yahawashi gonna fight against this current world, man, this current society, mainly the militaries of this world. Let me get it real quick in Second Ezra, because it says one realm go fight against another realm. Let's see, this Second Ezra. I think it's Second Ezra. I know it say one realm. Sure, let me look it up, man. Salaki. I'm gonna go back to that one realm. Okay, Second Ezra 13 and 31. So the Second Ezra 13 and 31, Yahawashi angel will come back and fight with the earth. It says that he shall come, and I start at 30. Right? It says Second Ezra 13, and I'll start at 29. Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth. And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, disappoint, and one realm against another. The heavenly realm against the earthly realm, man. Yahawashi and the angels will come fight against Esau, the so-called white man, and the other militaries of the world, man. That's that war in heaven that's in Revelation 12. You see? So when Yahawashi come back and fight, he go do the same thing right here as King David. Once he overtake the city, right, and destroy whatever, take captive the people of the city, just like King David about to do, Yahawashi gonna do the same thing. So after King David took the city, verse 30, it says, and he took, talking about King David, and he took the crown from the head of their king. And he took the crown from the head of their king. It weighed a talent of gold, which is 75 pounds. So that's tell you how big King David had to be. Shit, put 75 pounds on it. But it says he took their king's crown from off his head, the weight whereof was a talent of gold with the precious stones, and it was set on David's head, and he brought forth the spoil of the city in great abundance. So look, going back to Revelation 19, that's what it means when Yahawashi gonna have a head of many crowns, just as King David. He overtook a city, right? And now he was the new ruler of it. Well, Yahawashi, he coming back, and he gonna take over the earth, and he gonna be the new ruler of it. Nobody else. That's those head of many crowns, man. So going back to Revelation. Let's see. Salaki. I gotta charge my laptop. Salaki, hold on. God. Salaki. We back. Revelation 19 and 12 again. It says his eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of the Most High. And the armies which were in heaven followed him. So the angels are going to be following Yahawashi, man, right behind him. Right behind him. That's a real the head of an army, man. Nowadays you got the general here in the office just sitting by a little button. He could just press a button, sending drones. No, Yahawashi, he coming. He in the battle. He gonna lead the battle. You see? And it says, and the armies which were in heaven followed him to pull up, to pull up, boys, right? It says followed him upon white horses, because the angels go be in chariots too. Then it say Yahawashi was upon a white horse. The angels go be in so-called UFOs as well, man. Think about that army. Think about that military. Talk about a Air Force, huh? Talk about an Air Force, man. Right? It says, and the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he shall smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he tread of the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of the almighty power. That he ain't playing games. In other words, that scripture just said the Lord coming back and he ain't playing games. You see? But he gonna be kicking ass and taking names. It says, and he have on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. You see? King of Kings and Lords of Lords. And it says, yep, and I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great power. Because when Yahawashi come back, if you in America, you're going to just be dead, period. Right? Over there fighting in World War III, in the army, whatever military you're in, if y'all got family in the military, they're going to be dead. Lest they get out and the Lord have mercy. So this is calling the birds to come sup on their flesh. That's how many people going to be dead at the coming of these when they really pull up. When your Yahawashi and angels pull up, you know, when they crack them clouds, it says that ye may eat. So the Lord, the angel is telling these birds to get ready to eat. It says that ye may eat the flesh of kings, the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them that sit on them, the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. Woo! And that's probably some of them took the chip. Revelation 14. Right? Let me see. Yep. I'll read 22, because this is going to happen at the coming of Yahawashi as well. It says, and the beast was taken, this current system that revives Roman Empire, mainly America. It says, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet, right? The whole religion system started with the Roman Catholic Church. You know, all these false religions from that on down, because that's the mother of all those false religions. And it says, and that wrought miracles before him, all this technology, you know, his MOB, all that gonna be gone when Yahawashi and the angels pull up. It says, and with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, of the bee, and them that worship his image. These were both cast alive into the lake of fire, burning with brimstone. And if you take that, you're gonna have to die at the coming of Yahawashi, man. He gonna have to, when he pull up, you're gonna have to see the Lord. You know, but the Lord is coming with judgment, man. He ain't just coming on the scene just cause. No, he bringing in a whole new, like it said in his word, new regime. You know, Michael, he coming to shed blood too. You got angels who love doing the will of the Most High. You don't think they go love destroying Babylon the Great? You don't think they go love putting to death some of these people? Well, excuse me, a lot of these people. The scripture said the Lord coming in Isaiah 66. It said the slain of the Lord shall be many. He pulling up to take action, man. You know, that's why the scripture saying, Amos, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? It says the day of the Lord shall be darkness and not light. It says even very darkness, great darkness, and no light in it, man. Come on. That's not a day we want to be on the wrong side of the Lord. No, we working right now so he can have mercy on us and our households, man. So we don't have to get caught up in his judgment. You know, we hope when he come, you know, when he pull up, he pull us up. Come up hither. We hope when the Lord come, he pull us up. Come up hither, man. You know, but let's get this in 2 Ezra 13, and I'll wind it down. in 2nd Ezra 13, and I'm going to start at 1. Now, when you go into this, is Ezra, the prophet. He got a vision of Yahawashi coming back during World War III, which links up with Joel 3 and really Revelation 19, what we just was hitting on. He coming back, he will fight against the armies of the earth. You see, Revelation 12 with that war in heaven, Satan and his angels, Esau and his military fighting against Michael and the angels. You know, let's get it. 2nd Ezra 13 and 1, it says, and it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man, because Yahawashi is that man. He that dude, in other words. It says, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. Who is that? Who is the thousands of heaven? Who is he waxing strong with? Who is he pulling up on the scene with? That's the angels, man. That's those thousands. We read it in Jude. The Lord woke. Let's read it again. Let's read it again. Jude 1. And it's Enoch prophesying. Enoch was way back then, right? A little after Adam, before Noah, way back then. But he prophesied about the coming of Yahawashi. Picture that. And we about to finally see that today, man. Man, it says, and Enoch, Jude 1 and 14, and Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these, saying, behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints, the angels, to execute judgment upon all and to convince all that are ungodly among them, man. So going back to this, that's those thousands who Yahawashi coming back with, the angels. It says, like I said, Matthew 24, he also will send his angels to the four corner to gather the elect before the judgment. It says, back in 2nd Ezra 13 and 3, it says, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And my side note says clouds, which is, I don't know if y'all can see it. You see it right there? Boom. See? Right here, wax strong with the thousands. For the thousands, it says cloud, which is talking about the chariots, man. Talking about the chariots, it says, and when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that was seen under him. Now, this is when the militaries of the world gonna be fighting in World War III when Yahawashi gonna show up. You know how Royal Rumble, WWE, everybody fighting, everybody already fighting. And you'll have Stone Cold Steve Austin. You'll hear his little intro music, and then everybody stop, look towards the entrance, and you just see him running out. And everybody stop fighting each other, and they start fighting him. That's how it's gonna be. They're gonna be fighting each other, and they're gonna start fighting Yahawashi. Right? It says, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burnt that hear of his voice, like as the earth felleth when it filleth the fire. On sight, in other words, you know how they say when they do pull up in this world, niggas, right? When they do pull up, what they'll say, when I see you, it's on sight. In other words, it ain't gonna be no talking, right? It ain't gonna be no talking. I don't have to push you first and you push me, and I push you again, you push me, then I put the leaf on your shoulder and I tell you knock it off, then we gonna fight. No. Yes, shit, Jake used to do all step in my square. You put a little step in my square. The Lord ain't coming back to do none of that. Jake be, braving up to each other, just going in circles. The Lord ain't coming back to do none of that. When he pull up, it's going to be action. Action, man. Action. He ain't going to talk like Willie D. No more talk. Because right now he talking by his prophets. Right now he's sending out the threats. Right now he pleading right now. When he coming, ain't going to be no talking. Ain't going to be no pleading, man. But it says, verse 4, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burnt that filleth. So like all they burnt that heard his voice, like as the earth felleth when it filleth the fire. And it's talking about the Lord shooting that fire out of those chariots. And we don't know what the Lord gonna do. Remember, he said, I would not meet thee as a man. Ain't no telling what the Lord, how he gonna show out. Remember, he Judah. Judah, they stun us. The Lord, the Israelite of Israelites, the Judite of Judites. You don't think the Lord will come back stunting in all his glory? Come on, man. It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, there were gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue that man that came out of the sea. And it's talking about those militaries. That's why I said, and I beheld, there were gathered together a multitude of men out of number. Why? It's going to be a lot of militaries, like it's saying Joel 3, the valley of Jehoshaphat, and that, the parts of the Middle East. But it says from the four winds of the heaven. Why? Because it's a world war 3. All the militaries and nations going to be gathered together one way or another. Whether they helping somebody out, like Russia going to be doing, or whether they just in there trying to get them. They will be gathered together. And it says, and to subdue that man that came out of the sea, talking about Yahawashi. Now let me jump down, because when you go into this, Esdras, he gave the dream on what he's seen first. Then the angel gave him the interpretation. So I'm gonna jump down and give you the interpretation on that part we just read about the militaries when they go stop fighting and start fighting Yahawashi. So this second Esdras 13 and 32, it says, and the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the signs shall happen, which I showed thee before, and then shall my son be declared. Yahawashi. Then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. And when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle that they have one against another, and an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them willing to come and to overcome him by fighting. Just like the Royal Rumble, everybody fight. You have Stone Cold walk out with the glass break. He busts the beer can over his head. Everybody stop and he come in the ring. He hit somebody with a bow, they drop. Put somebody into somebody else, they fall out the ring. That's what the Lord gonna do. Right? Let's go back to it. Let's see what him and the angels gonna do though. When they pull up, it says, verse 5, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue that man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. What's this great mountain? That's that same white horse we was talking about in Revelation 19. That great power, and it said the Lord was going to come upon that thing. This is what they're talking about. Now, when Ezra seen it in the vision, right, the Lord, Yahawashi, his chariot, or what the world knows as UFO, right, his so-called UFO was so big, Ezra thought it was a mountain. And Ezra was looking around like, damn, where he took the mountain out of the earth from? Because he like, damn, this got to be a mountain. But no, that's why it's called the Fathership. The Lord coming again in all his glory. He waiting to stunt. You see? You know how people show up, pull up, they ride in Houston. They pop the trunk. The niggas pop the trunk. Got the suicide doors with the lights in the back, with the horn in the grill. You see? They think they doing it when they pull up. But look, the Lord pulling up, standing on a chariot, standing on a UFO. You don't think he gonna be shining? Come on, man. So it says, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. But I would have seen the region or place where out the hill was graven, and I could not. Right? Ezra was looking around like, where he took this mountain from? But it wasn't no mountain. That's why he said I could not see where he took it from, because it's not a mountain. It's a chariot, man. Right? It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. That's talking about the militaries of the earth. They're going to be afraid. Of course, think about it. You seeing a so-called black man, right, literally coming out the sky, standing on a UFO, followed by a multitude, thousands and millions of other UFOs, and in them is angels in them. Who knows? It might be angels out of them too. You see? So again, if you seeing that, How would you feel, man? Not knowing the truth, right? Because we understand it. We want to see it. We waiting on it. But not knowing the truth, you will bug out. You will bug out. Angelic so-called black. Look, the people in the world are already scared of niggas. Already scared of niggas. How much more angelic Mike Tyson on steroids? Come on, man. Not comparing Yahawashi to, them, but I'm making a point. You see? Ain't nothing gonna be like the Lord when you see him. But it says, and was so afraid and yet durst fight, the Lord will have to make them fight. They ain't gonna want to fight him. He gonna make them fight. Right? It says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, so once they try to come at the Lord and fight him and the angels, it says he neither lift up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, talking about out of the chariots, a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude, which was prepared to fight, and burnt them up, every one, so that upon a sudden and innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and the smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. Ezra just had a dream on what Yahawashi and the angels are going to do when they come, and he was afraid. What is it going to be like in real life? So when the Lord pull up, the real pull up, boys, Yahawashi and the angels, it ain't going to be nothing nice. Drop your location. Matter of fact, let's end it with that. Let's end it with that in Zechariah 5. The Lord won't look. He wants you to drop your location. He gonna enter into the house. Hey, people want to fight. It's like I'm getting a little animated, but it's just painting a picture. In other words, but Jake, they're telling shit. Pull up to the crib. We'll get one in. We'll run one, right? A bully or whatever come to somebody's house. They'll tell them what? Come outside. Step on the porch. But they never go in the house though. They'll tell them, look, come outside. You see, y'all, I'm sure y'all probably know what I'm talking about. You go to somebody's house, you don't go in their house, you don't come outside, I'm gonna bust that ass outside. Come on. Well, look, the difference between this man and his men, Yahawashi and the angels, they will come in your house. Come on. They will come in your house. Drop the location, he coming in the house. Let's read it. This Zechariah 5:1. It says, then I turned and lift up my eyes. And it's the prophet Zechariah, right? Now he about to see a chariot flying, which is UFOs. He about to see it flying. And the angel go tell him, look, you know what this is? And he gonna tell him what it is. This Zechariah 5:1. It says, then I turned and lift up my eyes and look, and behold, a flying roll. Now, it says, and he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. So he said, I see a flying roll. Now again, when we read the scriptures, we understand that the prophets, scribes, they didn't have the same terminology we have today, or vocabulary we have today. You see, even in American language, you have a word that's spelled the same with different meaning. So of course it's going to be different thousands of years ago. They describe what they seen the best way they could. For example, when you go into scriptures about the missiles, they didn't say ICBM missiles. I seen ICBM missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles flying. They didn't say that. They described them as arrows or darts because that's what they look like, right? Well, right here, Zechariah, he's saying, look, I see a flying roll. Now, when you go to a roll, let's see if we have a good picture. Now, you know how our scrolls used to look back in the day. Let me see if I can share my screen. Share screen, just like this. I just typed in roll or scroll. You see? See how that look? So Zechariah, in other words, like I said, I see a flying roll. Now you know it's cold. You know it's been coming out since all these UFO sites been seeing. What's some of the check this out. What's some of the shapes that they've been having? Right? You see, what's some of the shapes that these so-called UFOs been showing up looking like? Let's see. Oh, they call them cylinder shaped UFOs. You see? Now look, these are sightings. And it's just, we can go more in depth. I'm just getting quick little something to compare them. But you see over here is a scroll, a roll, right? And over here you see what? Zacharias probably seen something to this effect. You see? A UFO that maybe looked like what he could describe at the time. Look. You see how they got tic-tac shape UFOs. You see? Well, that's a blimp, but you get it. So let's get back to it. Right? So it says, I'll start at 1. Then I turned and lift up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, what seest thou? And let me see. And it says, what seest thou? And he said, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. We've been touching on that this whole time. That's Yahawashi and the angels, man. The curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. There ain't little green men in there. That's so-called dark-skinned men, angels, who coming back and they want to kill people. They want to shoot down fire. In other words, they want to do the will of the Most High. And it says, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, man. So look, they go pull up and come in your shit. And this house of the thief is talking about Esau Edom, which is talking about America. Babylon the Great, the mother of all harlots, Yahawashi, the son of the Most High, go make his way over here to America. How about that? Yahawashi, the son of the Most High, go make his way over here to America, man. All right? And it says, and bring it forth, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that swear falsely by my name. And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it, the judgment of Babylon being consumed, and consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof, man. So look, when Yahawashi, let me get one more. When Yahawashi and the angels come, look, it ain't gonna be no more talking in that day, man. Let me get this. Jeremiah 30. Now, this is after Jacob's trouble. Jeremiah 30, which Yahawashi go in Jacob's trouble. Right? It says, Jeremiah 30 and 23, behold, the whirlwind of Yahweh. What's this whirlwind? Talk about the chariots, man. It says, behold, the whirlwind of Yahweh, being led by Yahawashi as birds flying. Isaiah 32. It says, behold, the whirlwind of Yahweh goeth forth with fury, a continuing whirlwind, and it shall fall with pain upon the head of the wicked. Esau Edom. That's the house they're coming into. The wicked. Malachi 1 and 40. Edomites saw the wicked. So this destruction that the Lord and Yahawashi coming, the Lord Yahawashi and the angels coming with, first is to Esau, and then to whoever want to get their issue after that. You see? Like the Lord said, who don't want him to reign over them, bring them hither and slay them before the Lord, man. right? But it says, the whirlwind of Yahweh goeth forth with fury, a continuing whirlwind. It shall fall with pain upon the head of the wicked. The fierce anger of Yahweh shall not return until he have done it, and until he have performed the intents of his heart in the latter days, ye shall consider. And when the latter days. So it's about to happen. But hey, I just want to go into that. Really, I was just doing a little test. I wanted to see if I can even live stream on this new little backup page that I got. Because like I said, my GMS spiritual temple. Well, I'll show y'all. I'll share my screen, show y'all. So as y'all, who subscribe, this is my main page, GMS Spiritual Temple 2, but it got 2 strikes on it. You see, that's why I put at the top, YouTube might delete this page soon. On last strike, please subscribe to my backup channels. So look, any day they could delete this because I got 2 strikes, one more on my page temporarily deleted, and they could find an old video or something just to get me. So that's why I said this page could get deleted any day now. Now, this is the thing. This is my backup page, but this backup page is linked to this same email address. So once they delete GMS Spiritual Temple 2, they're going to delete this one along with it, GMS Spiritual Temple 3. You see? So at the end of the day, really, the one I'm on now, which got 3 subscribers, this might be the only one I might have. So, what that is, whatever, man. Fuck it. It's whatever. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. By Hashem Yahawashi, by Hashem Chakodash. It's a lot. I ain't mean to, but that YouTube, that shit childish, bro. But I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. By Hashem Yahawashi, by Hashem Chakodash. And double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And peace and blessings to all you Akim out there pushing this word with all truth and sincerity, and to all you believers out there who believe on the gospel and keep fighting, keep pushing. And with that, shalom.